Welcome to the Sammy Draft, the show where we draft things that don't actually matter. Today, we are going to be drafting the best TV shows of all time. And my opponent, the amazing GoofyWise.
That's good.
We're each going to get 5 picks, and then after, you guys are going to let us know who has the best team. GoofyWise, your first pick.
I'm gonna come at you with a strong Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, number 1. Why is that?
I mean, it's a phenomenal fucking show. That's why, bro. It's like, it's one of the shows that had me on my heels the entire time I was watching it. Completely anxious. It's an immersive experience. Great writing overall.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm not, because that's just gonna make me look weak. It was my first pick as well. I'm gonna be
I know.
There are a lot of shows that they're amazing, but people have complaints about.
Yeah.
And Breaking Bad, like literally 0 complaints. The characters, the acting, perfect. The length of the show, perfect. The conclusion is perfect. Breaking Bad is the best show of all time. But this is not about who has the best pick. It's about who has the best team at the end. So
okay, go ahead.
my number 1 pick is gonna be Game of Thrones. Obviously, people have their issues with the ending.
I think everybody has issues with the ending, but okay.
But this show, when it was on TV, was one of the most captivating worldwide experiences for the audience. Even more so than Breaking Bad. You had like the girliest girls you've ever met in your life. Like, I'm House Stark.
Yeah. You don't know this, Becky. You made fun of us for D&D. You know what I mean?
The first 6 seasons, bro, this show was incredible.
I mean, honestly, it was my number 2. So
Okay.
All right, so my second pick is gonna have to be Attack on Titan.
Okay. Attack on anime in the top 5 of all time.
Yes, it's truly peak fiction. You know what I mean? And I don't say that, it's not peak anime. It's literally peak fiction because it transcends its own subject material, breaks into completely different fields. It is because the quality of writing and storytelling is so fascinating. It ascended.
I haven't been a huge anime fan my whole life, but Attack on Titan really got me into anime, and now I'm watching more. And that was like the first anime that made me realize, like, yo, anime can have like the same what the fuck moments that Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad could have. My number 2 pick, maybe a surprise to some people, but my number 2 pick is gonna be Lost.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say about this, but I'm also happy that you chose Lost because I think it's kind of ass.
I'm gonna be honest. In the same way that you might have a little bit of personal bias with Attack on Titan, I have a little bit of personal bias with Lost. I watched Lost when it was on TV. I was 11 years old. Lost was the first show that had those what the fuck moments and cliffhangers that people try to model to this day.
The only thing I would say about Lost is that like some of those what the fuck moments were just for the sake of what the fuck moments. Like, you can't just dangle a carrot out here and then never explain why the fucking carrot was there to begin with. You know what I mean?
I think the biggest criticism I see is people say it's like way too sci-fi. I fuck with that. You either love Lost or you hate it. It could have went number 1.
I think that's your weakest pick so far.
Well, let's hear what your number 3 pick is.
My number 3 pick, The Wire. I think what really got me into The Wire was the level of immersion that it had. I don't know how to say it. Attention to detail. It's almost like you have a window into like a real thing that's happening. Yeah. And they not only do it perfected in one season, they carry it over to the next season, even though they're going in different places and, and finding a way for them all to connect in the end. You know what I mean? It's great.
My number 3 pick is going to be The Office.
Wow.
One of the greatest, if not the greatest comedy TV show of all time. The cultural impact of The Office, everyone and their mother has seen it. The memes, the inside jokes, everybody loves The Office.
I actually haven't watched The Office. I think I watched it like in passing, kind of like, those like, back in the day we would Netflix and chill and something just be on in the background kind of thing. You know
Netflix and chill show. All right, your number 4 pick.
I am going to go Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Dang, so 2 animes in your top 5. Tell me what's so good about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is such a beautiful story, an adaptation of the original manga, and what we see is a beautiful story about 2 brothers that also tackles philosophical themes, religious, scientific, genocide, war, anti-war, imperialism, government corruption. It's almost even hard to put it all into words, but it's peak, man. It's peak. Had to throw it in there.
All right, my number 4 pick is gonna be a show that I have not seen.
Okay, this is just wrong.
If we're being objective, there's no top TV show list of all time that doesn't have this show in the top 10. Say it with me on 3. 1, 2, 3. The Sopranos. Yeah. The Sopranos is going to be my number 4 pick. I'm sorry that I haven't seen it. Don't judge me, but I'm trying to be the best here, okay? All right, Goofy, your 5th and final pick.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say Vinland Saga.
Yo, if you haven't already, check out Goofy's recent video that he put out on why Vinland Saga is actually feminist. Great fucking video. Why is Vinland Saga in your top 5?
In the first season, it carries a lot of attention from your typical shonen fans, and it's a very action-packed series. But as we become on season 2, we realize that was the entire prologue, and what the real story of Vinland Saga is the story of redemption, a story of defining your own version of masculinity, going against patriarchy. That in itself, in the cultural aspect, but also like the show in itself, the journey that Thorfinn goes on, I think it's fucking beautiful. That might be a little personal bias, you know what I'm saying? But I'll rock with it.
With my 5th and final pick, I'm going to go a little personal too. I think you may think I'm going a certain way with this.
I do, yeah.
I'm not going to be picking my favorite show, Big Brother. I am going to be picking Survivor.
I
with
fucking
my
knew it.
5th and final pick. And let me tell you why. Survivor is the greatest reality show of all time. I don't want to hear anything about The Bachelor, Love is Blind. Maybe you haven't seen it in a while since, I mean, most people watched Survivor like 20 years ago. Since then, there's been 44 seasons. The game Survivor, if you're a fan of like strategy and like that kind of thing, it's top notch. But Survivor is as authentic as you can get as far as reality TV. Motherfuckers are starving. That shit is not fake. Look at day 1 versus the last day. People have almost died on that show. Not that that's a good thing, but for me, it had to make it on this top 5. All right, so Goofy's team is going to be Breaking Bad, Attack on Titan, The Wire, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Vinland Saga. And my list is going to be Game of Thrones, Lost, The Office, The Sopranos, and Survivor. Let us know in the comments who has the better team here. Check out GoofyWise, and see you next time.